as Mario Kart X finally approaches the horizon after so long, I wanted to actually dive in and discuss to see what retro tracks we are going to be receiving from Mario Kart 8. As it is the most recent title, I thought it would be fun to dissect what tracks we could potentially see. Stay tuned and let's discuss. How's it going to all my Mario fans out there? My name is Acinator, and I want to welcome you to the channel. And hopefully, when I upload this, my channel is fixed. I don't know what's going on, but if it's not, oh well, I guess we're starting fresh. So let's dive in. So I had to keep two things in mind when actually dissecting to see what Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tracks will make a return, and that is going to be these two things. The first one being is that if the anti-gravity mechanic is returning, meaning that it's going to be in Mario Kart 9 or Mario Kart X. We don't know yet. I'm highly assuming so. And the other thing I had to take into account is that the 24 player count is toggable. And, you know, you could turn it on and off, so you can have a 12-player race or a 24-player race. So without further ado, let's discuss. So starting off, I wanted to actually put Sweet Sweet Canyon in here for two major reasons. One, it's a nice beginner track with multiple pathways, so if it is 24 players, they'll have more opportunities to go just which way they ever want towards the end. And also with this one, they can make the tracks wider. That's with any track, but I feel like this would just be a perfect candidate to actually start us off on the retro tracks coming back from Mario Kart 8. And it's a food theme, you know, who doesn't love a food theme track? And I feel like with Mario Kart 9's graphics and everything in between, this track would go super well within Mario Kart X. So the next one I've decided is pretty much a fan favorite from a lot of people, and that is going to be Shy Guy Falls. Now, I'm picking this one mainly because it is a fan favorite from a lot of people. You know, when I see people playing it online, I always pick it, as with the next one, I always pick too. And also, I feel like the 24-player race, you know, excluding all the graphics and everything, if it's on, this will be a nice fun way to actually have a chaotic race. And I just feel like, you know, the environment in this track would actually suit it really well. As for competitive play, you know, you're gonna have just those tight turns and also the anti-gravity mechanics, and I feel like going up and down the waterfall and around those turns would make a great addition to the next Mario Kart title. Alright, this one is a no-brainer, and it speaks greatly as to Sweet Sweet Canyon. Electro. You know, this track is one of a kind. Like, it's Mario at a club, and it's just the music, the environment, the way the anti-gravity works, and just the way that the environment actually works in the entire track. Never mind competitive play, but just it's a beauty to be seen. And I really don't have much more to say about this, as I think this is my number one pick out of all the tracks I say on this list. Is definitely going to make a return, and if it doesn't, I am going to be pretty much shocked. So this spot, I had no idea what else to put here because it was between three tracks, and I decided to put two of them here on this list. One of them is going to be an honorable mention at the end, but I have to say Ice Outpost. Now, for any particular reason, no, but I feel like this track would look absolutely gorgeous within Mario Kart 9. Now, if we do have like some sort of Wonder Seed effect coming in, you know, it could actually be like a nice calm track, and all of a sudden, let's say somebody gets the Wonder Seed, if that's the so-called gimmick of this track, it's just going to bring on a heavy blizzard. It's just going to, you know, blur drivers when they're driving, and not to mention how tight this course is. If it's going to be a 24-player race, after all, I just feel like that it will be absolutely crazy to experience, number one, a 24-player race on this small track, and if somebody gets that so-called Wonder Seed that may actually make a return in this game causing a blizzard, it's just going to be way too chaotic, but in a fun way. It's not going to be like some skill-based matchmaking or random, this game's out to get me type of thing, but it's going to be just chaotic and fun, and I hope this track makes a return just for that reason alone. Okay, so the last one I'm very confident that will make a return, you know, just as much as Electrodrome, is going to be Wild Woods. Now, like I said, for any particular reason for this track, no. But the way that it plays online and the way that it plays in single player, you know, and multiplayer, and then some of the time trials, I feel like just the way that this track is formed is very unique. You're going up a tree in some forest, then you're going around visiting Shy Guys, and, you know, it just will work. Like, it's just kind of hard to describe, but I feel like with a 24-player race, or you can toggle it on and off, and then with the Wonder Seed effect that may or may not come in the game, you know, count how many times I say that in the video, but, you know, I just feel like this track would work in a nice way too, kind of how similar to Ice Outpost is, but you're gonna have 2 separate paths at the beginning. You know, the 12 players can branch off, or whatever track's the shortest, you just go on that track. Then after that, you do decide to, you know, go down the waterfall and then race back up the tree. And then let's just say you get the Wonder Seed effect. It's just, you know, I don't even know what it could be at this point. Maybe it's gonna be blistering hot and the tree decides to burn down one of the things. You have to take an alternate route or some strange thing along those lines. You know, it's just wild, you know, no pun intended, that, you know, this track is really good both aesthetically and the way that it plays. And I feel like if it was to come back, it'd probably be one of the best playing tracks just because of its chaotic nature and the environment it's set within. So I do have an honorable mention, and this is the one I'm kind of on and off about. You guys might flip-flop this with Ice Outpost, but for me, the honorable mention is going to be Super Bell Subway. Now, the only reason why I'm kind of cautious on it is the 24-player, you know, count. Of course, they can actually add the track, you know, make it wider and everything, make it much bigger. But I feel like it will just be a little bit too chaotic for something that they're trying to pursue for the first time. Because if you think about it, there's so many subway cars, or there's so many alternate paths, and there's just way too much chaotic in an enclosed space that I feel like, you know, since Nintendo is actually doing the 24-player count for the first time ever in Mario Kart history, I feel like they're going to look at all their tracks. They're going to say, okay, which ones are the more easiest out of the chaotic tracks, if that makes any sense. And they're going to be looking at every single one, but they might, you know, look at this one and say, this may be too chaotic. We don't know how the system is going to perform, you know, with all the specs and the upgrades and everything like that. Sure, it'll perform just fine, but as for like single player wise, multiplayer wise, and just the amount of item spam that's going to happen with 24 players, I just don't know if, you know, it will actually make a return. Just think about it like this, if you had to. It will be like Baby Park, but much bigger, because everything will be enclosed. And if there's special items like the ginormous Bowser shell, then that track is just going to be way too chaotic. And I don't know if Nintendo wants to go that route, but we'll see. That's why I put it on my honorable mention. So that's going to be my list, but now I want to hear from you guys down in the comment section below. Do you guys like my list, or do you guys have a different list? Let me know your #1 track that you want to see that's from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in Mario Kart X. And from this point forward, until we get a name, I am calling it Mario Kart X. Why? Because it's the 10th installment. You know, if Mario Kart Tour is Mario Kart 9, this is going to be Mario Kart 10. So that's going to be it for me today, guys. I hope you guys do enjoy, and I just want to get everything situated with my YouTube account, because at this point, I don't know. It is so frustrating, and the one time I have motive to upload so heavily, again, just like the past, it's just another roadblock I have to deal with. With that out of the way, guys, just to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is Acinator, signing off. Stay healthy, stay clean. Bye.